Studio we like to catch up with at every opportunity is Image and Form here at Gamescom with SteamWorld Heist, of course. What are you doing here? What are you showing?
So we're showing off SteamWorld Heist now, just the very core gameplay, and it's a demo that's evolved, and now you got some happy guys here getting blown to pieces by terrible factions of steam-driven robots. So that's what we're doing.
I saw it in the Nintendo booth as well. It's playable over there?
Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't had time to go down there, but I need to go down on Sunday. Apparently I'm supposed to do something at the Nintendo booth. Right. As you know, it's coming to the 3DS first, so we have sort of a special connection to Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean that with the whole history of SteamWorld Dig and you know how it sort of blew up on the 3DS originally.
Yeah, exactly. So we gotta give it back, and we have to give it back because I was so ecstatic when SteamWorld Dig just came out and became like the #1 in all the eShops around the world. So, being drunk one day, I promised in some forum that the next game would also come on the 3DS first. So we have to do it.
Good thing it's a very good fit for the 3DS then, and not some sort of 3D game that's really hard to pull off.
Yeah, I'm relieved and it plays so well on the 3DS.
Yeah, it certainly feels like a game that right at home on the device. Yeah. Is there anything special about the 3DS version that's sort of extra with the two screens?
It is. I mean, the 3DS is sort of the odd man out, like if you talk platforms. So the two screens, the resolution and so on restricts you a little bit, but then you have the freedom of using the second screen in a creative manner. And I think it's not the first game we're making for the 3DS, so therefore we're sort of maximizing the use of the device, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, you even made one for DS as well back in the day, didn't you?
Yeah.
The start of SteamWorld, that one that people tend to forget, like the beginning.
Yeah, exactly, and maybe people should forget. No, but the SteamWorld Tower Defense was out on the Nintendo DSi, and it was, that was really a shot in the dark from our perspective.
Yeah. Sort of a platform that people did. I mean, I hardly even noticed when games got released with the DSi.
Right, and it was the worst shop in the universe, the DSiWare store. It was useless. You couldn't find anything. But then we got lucky. I think we got a few really good reviews for the game, and so it paid for itself. And when we were sort of not knowing if we were going to stay on mobile or move on, that was sort of an experience that we could sort of lean back on and know that, okay, we should be okay on the 3DS with a decent game like SteamWorld Dig.
So I gotta ask, we saw you at E3, then we saw you at Game Lab, now we see you here in Cologne. Do you have any time to work on the game actually?
Actually, I was going to say, do you have a private life, Bengt? It seems like you're always traveling around meeting me. So, well, the thing is...
I'm kind of a stalker.
Exactly. That's what it is. Oh, man. Well, the good thing is that I don't personally develop very much anymore. I don't program anymore. I just I do what I like to do best, is talk to Bengt Lemne. That's what I do.
It's a full-time job.
Well, yeah, you got to take care of the guy, right? Now, so going to these fairs and sort of just being like the face of the company is what I'm allowed to be doing. So I'm very happy about it. Yeah.
And bring back all the feedback and everything that you notice from people playing it.
Yeah, you bring back the hangover, the feedback, and exactly. It's really important too. I mean, you have people playing it and you get the reactions. You notice, like you see patterns. It's like, okay, we need to sort of give this aspect a little bit more love. And
because those usability things are sort of things that, as the development team knows all of this, it's kind of hard to pick them up.
Yeah. We're so close to the screen the whole time. We don't really know. It's like, what do we need to polish? It's very easy to pick out when you get a lot of people playing it like this.
And of course, some of that is unique to each platform, so you have to go around and give people each version of the game in their hands as well.
But that's great. That's a great thing, because then I get to meet Gamereactor the whole time. So.
All right, so I mean, that is one of the things that you sort of have promised, like every possible platform this game is going to come out at some point.
Yep.
Do you have anything more to say about? We know that 3DS is going to be there first. What other platforms are you sort of thinking of initially?
Sure. So 3DS first, and then it is going to come to all other platforms, all other current generation platforms, I should say, in a sort of staggered manner that 3DS first, then another platform 2-3 months after that, then another platform, etc. So we haven't finalized the order of those, so I'm not going to talk about that, but it looks like we're going to be releasing it like throughout the spring of 2016 for these other platforms. And the difference between SteamWorld Heist and SteamWorld Dig is that Dig came out on 3DS, Steam, PC, Mac, Linux, and then PS4, Vita, Xbox One, Wii U. SteamWorld Heist is coming to all of those platforms as well, but since this game is so much more input independent, it's also coming to phones and tablets this time. And personally, I can't wait to play it on an iPad. I think it's a thrill, right?
And it's a platform that begs for that kind of premium experience, because there are those kind of gamers on there as well. Let's not forget that. It's not all about free-to-play.
Exactly, and it shouldn't be all about free-to-play. And I think if you're making premium games, you shouldn't be afraid of trying to charge for your games on mobile, because it's almost an insult if you sell a game at $20 on every other platform and then you sell the same game at $3 on it. Doesn't really make sense. Or I think it's because the game is going to be just as good on the iPad as on, say, for example, Xbox One.
And I imagine a game like this, in some ways, it may even be better, like with sort of controls and such. It lends itself so well.
Exactly. So yeah, we're not going to chicken out this time. It's like we're going to charge for that game.
Cool. And what can you tell us about Image and Form as a whole? I mean, obviously growing and sort of maturing all the time. Where are you at now, and are you working on a second project in parallel, or are you fully committed to SteamWorld Heist right now?
Right now, we're sort of doing the final touches to SteamWorld Heist. So right now, we're only working on that. And there's 16 people in the office. It's me and a couple of more guys who are not in production, really. We do other kinds of things. So it's 13 developers working full-time on this game. But I think we know what we're going to do next. So, yeah. And it's sort of the vision is we want to stay below or around 20 people. Because Image and Form, it's you come and visit us. It's like you take your shoes off and you sort of hang around and you drink a lot of coffee, and we don't want to work ourselves to death. We always aim for 7-hour work days and so on. So yeah, going to work I want people to come in tomorrow as well, right? And the day after that. So we just try to keep it like a family. I hope that doesn't sound cheesy, but that's sort of like the feeling I want. I want to know everyone who is working at Image Form. Right.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, because I think a lot of developers said this to me, that once you sort of meet that new face, you don't know his name, and you realize that he's been working there for a couple of months, you've lost something along the way there.
You did. And I don't think you can reclaim it, because shrinking a company it's terrifying, right? It's always
usually not involving anything good.
Exactly. I was going to say there's always some negative stuff around that. So yeah, I don't want to grow it too big. I want to keep it a cozy place to go to work.
Looking forward to seeing SteamWorld Heist on Nintendo 3DS, and like we hinted at, there's plenty of more interviews with Brjann on the website, so you can check those out. Thank you so much for your time.
Cheers, Bengt. Always a pleasure. Bye, guys.